I'm going to tell you the steps to reversing leaky gut. This is from someone who was sicker than can be. I lost 70 plus pounds, was reacting to all these kinds of different foods, rashes all over me, panic attacks from foods, throat swelling, diagnosed with multiple conditions, and was be able to overcome it. So this is the most important thing. Number one, okay, when you're trying to overcome leaky gut, you want to stop all the supplements from the beginning. Just stop all the supplements, okay? Focus exclusively on diet. Make sure you understand how these foods that you're eating are affecting how you're feeling. You got to create a log of everything you're eating, okay? Write down the time you're eating it, okay? The time when symptoms get worse, and start to make the correlations between what you're eating and how you're feeling. These are going to be the foods that are going to cause you the issues when you have leaky gut. Number one, eggs, then dairy, nuts and seeds, gluten, processed food, meat. Yes, I said meat. Too much meat, anything over 3-4 ounces a day, and some people can't even handle that depending upon how bad their situation is. These are the foods that you have to always look at. The spices also, strong flavors, things like that. These are the foods that are always the problem. The foods that are safe, okay, once you gently transition towards more and more plants, are your fruits, your vegetables, your rice, your potatoes, your beans, your lentils, things like that, oil, salt, basic foods that are bland, plant-based, and you get a wide variety of these plant-based foods. But you start off, find out the ones that work for you, and you start to really get safety in your diet. Because if you're flaring from your diet, even if you're getting bloating, even if you're getting acid reflux, even if you're getting, constipation, these things are all signs that there's still things in your diet your body's not agreeing with. So if you really want to heal leaky gut, you got to first get your diet locked in and make sure you're not triggering yourself or irritating yourself by what you're eating. After you do that, okay, you got to go ahead and do some deep breathing, some meditation. You got to get rid of some of these thoughts in your mind that are making you believe this illness is going to be the rest of your life. You got to start believing that, hey, listen, now that I stopped the flares from occurring, I'm never going to get bad again. I'm never going to get worse again. My body will heal. You got to start believing that. You got to start believing that less is going to be more. One thing at a time is going to be the way out of this, not throwing a bunch of supplements at the wall and trying to kill things with oil of oregano and crazy stuff like that. So once you get the diet set up and you're starting to do some deep breathing, let's say 25 minutes of just strictly nostril breathing, 25 minutes, ideally twice a day, but once a day at least. Close your eyes. You start to be able to release the tension, okay? You start to recondition the nervous system, start to avoid these fearful thoughts and start to realize, hey, these thoughts themselves are even affecting my gut. They're creating stress. They're affecting my enzyme production, all that. You got to really start to focus on your mind next. Then after that, okay, after doing the meditation, you start doing the brain retraining. Then after that, you start focusing on the supplements, okay? Things like raw colostrum would be the number one, right? Also bee propolis, things like acacia fiber, things that are soft that help to discourage the growth of bad bacteria, but they promote the growth of the good bacteria. Things like rabinogalactin, apple pectin, carbonized bamboo to bind up to some of those toxins, various types of herbs that are out there, various types of phytonutrients that all upregulate the activity of the good bacteria. All these things can help to restructure the gut lining. But first, most importantly, you got to get the irritants out of the way with the diet. Then you got to start working on the stress. Then you got to do one supplement at a time. And most importantly, you got to document everything. You got to write down what you are taking, what you're eating, and any symptoms that pop up. Anything with your gut that pops up, you got to make the correlation between what you added, and you got to keep your ingredients real simple. You got to be able to keep it like 5 or less ingredients all the time. If you're gonna have a meal, it's like baked potato, broccoli, and oil and salt. Okay, well, obviously if there's a problem, you could figure out which one it is, but most of the time, less ingredients is gonna be better off, and you're gonna be feeling a whole lot better in the long run. So these are the tips I have for you. I gave you the supplements. I gave you the idea of how to eat. You wanna eat less, smaller meals more frequently. You wanna have snacks in between. You don't wanna avoid carbohydrates. You wanna avoid a high meat and high fat animal product diet. That's gonna be the number one contributor. And if you still can't beat leaky gut, you have to look into mycotoxins, mold, fungal fragments, mycotoxins. These things are always implicated in these situations where it's treatment resistant and your diet's not even working and the supplements aren't working. Then you have to look at mycotoxins because they're really the only solution left. They're only possibility left. And I've seen this with people who have had IBD, IBS, Crohn's-like symptoms, etc., like myself, that it could all tie back to what you're inhaling, not what you're actually consuming. That could be the thing that's most important. So if you have leaky gut, this information should help you have a good starting point, knowing how to heal yourself. Go to my website, endsickness.org. If you want more information about the diet, I've broken it down into different categories, what stage you should be at initially, what foods you should follow, and then the next stage up, etc. It's called the hypoallergenic food list. It is going to be on my website if you just type it in on Google. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to my website, endsickness.org again. Hundreds of articles, hundreds of videos on there teaching how to heal yourself. Have a good one.